I'm Dr. Heather Igliukti. I'm the director of the Inuit Futures Project, and I am based in Tiohtià:ke, Muniang, Montreal, Quebec in Canada, traditional territory of the Kanien'kehá:ka Nation and home today to many Indigenous peoples. And this is the Ilisarniq series, which is presented in partnership with the Inuit Art Foundation. And today with the Indigenous Screen Office, and both of those organizations are based in Toronto, the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, Anishinaabe, Chippewa, Haudenosaunee, and Wendat peoples, and of course is also now home to many Indigenous peoples, First Nations, Inuit, and Métis. We have joining us on the call today a very exciting group. The cast and their mothers, their Ananas and Paniks, are joining together from Denmark and Greenland today. And we have a moderator with us, as well as Danielle Dues, who's doing the behind the scenes for the Inuit Art Foundation. That's the purple eye on the screen. And it is my pleasure to introduce to you Laakkuluk Williamson Bathory. She is a Kalaaleq performing and visual artist, spoken word poet, actor, storyteller, and writer based in Kalaallit Nunaat. She's actually just returned from the Berlinale, where she presented the exhibition Pipaluk Prototype, supported by the Indigenous Screen Office, also one of our partners on this event. Pipaluk is a live action animation and VFX prototype for a larger immersive project in development. The prototype was also part of Arctic XR, which premiered in association with the Sami Pavilion at the Venice Biennale this past summer in 2022. In 2021, Laakkuluk won one of Canada's most prestigious art prizes, the Sobi Art Award. This followed her momentous win of the first ever Knoyuak Ashevak Award by the Inuit Art Foundation, which is now going into its third year. And just on Friday, the Inuit Art Foundation, through the department that Danielle is in, Artist Services, directed by Inuk Heather Campbell, announced the long list of the new Knoyuak Ashevak Prize. It's expanded this year. There are now 10 artists on the long list, and it was just announced on Friday. Super exciting how everything is connected. As co-founder of Kegivut, the Arctic Inspiration Prize-winning performing arts organization, which trains aspiring performing artists, Laakkuluk has actually been a longtime supporter of emerging artists and young performers everywhere, which makes her, I think, the ideal moderator for this wonderful conversation that we're about to have on the Oscar-nominated short film Ivalu. It is I haven't seen the film myself yet. Laakkuluk actually just saw it at the film festival last week, which is amazing timing. And from what I understand, it is a very challenging and emotional film starring two emerging actors who we're just thrilled to have with us today to talk about this incredibly powerful work that they've done together and their exciting journey to the Oscars coming up in, oh my goodness, just a couple of weeks. So I'm very, very excited to have you here. Thanks to everyone who's joining us and everyone who watches this later. We are so excited and thrilled to be able to support you on your Oscar journey. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our fantastic moderator, Laakkuluk. Nakumi, I'll see you in a little bit. I'm gonna disappear.
She disappeared like a Cheshire cat with a big smile. It was very lovely. Ano anak ay madu kada kasi sinasagun Inuit tamani Canada mi mas oflu tulun na ninga nok tokaktugun ilikakta kaya kaktunukua suliaktusi sulirisakpusi suniakpusi isanganakak. I'm so happy to be with these young people and their mothers to be learning about what they have been doing, what the process has been, and where they're going. And it's a very momentous occasion because this is a short film that has been made entirely in Greenland with two really incredible emerging actors that has gone straight to being nominated for an Oscar. So in the coming weeks, these two, Mila and Nivi and their families, are all going to be heading to Los Angeles and walking down the red carpet and showing their incredible film, Ivalu. So I thought it's probably best if we start with introductions, and maybe Nivi and Ayengwa, the two of you could introduce each other.
My name is Nivi Larsen. I am 16 years old, and I love.
You played.
I played Ivalu. Yes.
Well, me, I'm the mother of Nivi, and I have supported her from the beginning.
Good. How about you, Mila?
My name is Mila. I'm 11 years old, and I played Pipaluk in the movie. And my mom is currently putting my little brother to sleep right now, but she's coming very soon. But yeah.
And so you live in Denmark, but you're from Greenland.
Yeah.
Which is why it's your brother's bedtime. It's late there.
Yeah, it's like late right now, but it's fine.
Oh, that's fantastic. So maybe we should hear a little bit about the film. I was very blessed to be able to watch it last week in Berlin, and not just able to watch it, but actually to sit with Mila and Baningwa as they watched it for the first time in full. It was extremely moving, very beautiful, and actually very difficult. And I was just amazed by how you as young people are able to hold all of those truths. Can you tell me a little bit about the film, Mila, what the film is about?
The movie is about two sisters who have a father that is not such a good father. And, the sister couldn't take what she's going through anymore. And, the little sister is looking for her and just slowly starting to find out what is happening. And yeah.
That's a very good summary. Nivi, would you like to talk about how the film incorporates the story of the family and your character along with mythology, Kalaaleq Greenlandic stories? I think it's a very powerful thing that happened in the film and really important to understand.
In Greenland, there's a lot of abusement, and the film is about to stop the abusement, and it's gonna help the children because they are struggling. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I should probably mention to people that are attending this afternoon that the film is actually extremely difficult, and you should know as you go in to watch it, it has to do with themes of extreme abuse within a family, and how these two sisters cope with it. And as Nivi said, it's a film that's to help move people through the experience and to find solutions, to find, I wouldn't say inner peace, but to find understanding of the situation of abuse within families. Is that right, you think, Mila? Yeah, maybe. So, can you both tell me about what it is like to be making a film as a young person for the very first time? Nivi, would you like to start?
Okay, me. But at the beginning, it was hard because it was my first film, and this film, it's hard to film because to show emotions and trying to show sad emotions, and it's hard to me.
Yeah, I can imagine how hard it was. Did you ever do any type of acting before this movie?
No.
It was her first film. At a difficult subject.
Incredibly difficult. I think that's one of the things that Inuit often experience in the art world as well as in, you know, life experiences, that you start off with something extremely difficult and then, oh my gosh, you're walking down the red carpet in Los Angeles. It's one of those, like, we have to do things, so we just do it. And we all look up to both of you and everybody for accomplishing this incredible feat. Nivi, did you get some training on the set? Like, what kind of support did you get to learn how to act, learn how to have these big emotions, and how to get through the day?
My mom is the one supporter because that text, I have to read it, and my mom act Pipaluk, so
she could be Ivalu.
So I read it, and my mom answer it. That's how we learned the castings text.
We practiced together.
On the other screen, you can see that Paningwak has joined us. She is the mother of Mila. So Mila, do you want to tell us about what it was like for you to begin acting in start your acting career in such a powerful, difficult piece?
It was definitely hard, but like the hard scenes were very tough, but like some scenes it was not so hard, but me and my mom would like be practicing. Like she would play Ivalu and I would play Pipaluk, like, you know. And I acted in a music video.
Yeah, she started. She was 8 when me and my ex-husband made her play a character in one of his music videos. That was also like a tough scene. You see a father drinking beer and there's a child like trying to take the dad away, like, and that was her. And I filmed, like, it was something we just made, but we explained to her what acting was when she was 8. And then, yeah, this opportunity came. And when we first, when she first got to audition, and then she got the part, and then we got the script, we didn't know who those guys were until the day before we were gonna meet the director. I Googled the names on the script, and the first pictures, all the pictures that I saw on Google were like 2 guys holding Oscars. And I was like, what? Oh my God. Because I thought it was just a regular, like, short film, but it turned out to be much more than that. So yeah, it's been wild.
Yeah, do you want to tell us a little bit about the background of the production? There's it's co-produced between Greenlandic producers and Danish producers, I believe, as well as co-directed between a Greenlandic director and a Danish director. Can you tell us about that relationship a little bit? Paningwa?
Yeah, the Danish people came and hired an entire Greenlandic production team. So the only Danish people who were there were the director, the producer, the cameraman, and the cameraman's assistant. So that was the only, and the rest of the crew that was on set were local people that was hired by Pipaluk Greenland, who did a fantastic job. And I was there every day, like when she was acting, just observing and making sure everything was okay. And yeah, they were so professional. It was so much fun, and I could tell that she was very comfortable. So, and the way the Danish people approached this was with huge respect. They did some research first. I know they talked to psychologists in Greenland and some people who were experts in this difficult subject matter. So it felt very reassuring, like this is made with respect. And that meant so much for me as a mom, because I wouldn't have said yes if I felt like it was like foreigners coming to tell a sad story, that kind of narrative. So I really liked how they approached making it, and also co-produced, because most of the crew was Greenlandic. So that made me very proud to see that she was a part of as a mom. Also because I'm in movie business myself, and I know how it is. So it made me so proud to see all those hardworking Greenlandic crew.
Ayanguak, do you want to talk a little bit about where the film was made? What parts of Greenland, and how the beautiful scenes were accomplished? I know it's very, very difficult, very expensive to film in Greenland, and it was, of course, important for it to be in Greenland. So can you tell us where it was filmed and how?
Yes, I was lucky to follow the two girls when they made the film, because they filmed it in where the children have autumn holiday. I'm myself a teacher, so I have been lucky to follow the two girls, and it begins a little bit outside of the Inuk, not far from the city. It happened in the afternoon. I can remember. It was in autumn. While filming the film, I could see they were freezing. But yes, but I could see that they have
fun.
Yes, I could see.
Fun.
Yes. De meste af tid.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. And one day we went to a settlement, which was closed during the 60s. We were there for a day, and I could see that the girls have fun also over there. The settlement, which was closed in 16, was a beautiful place, I think.
Yeah, it is just incredible. And there's all sorts of scenes where you're flying over top of the land, like a duluga, like a raven, because of the character of the raven pulling Pipaluk towards Ivalu. As she's trying to look for her sister, there's a raven that's helping her. And I find that the raven really helps you look at the land and appreciate it in a spiritual way in the film. Can any of you talk about how that spiritual aspect is played out in the film? Because I think this is one of the things that helps people pull through such a difficult story, is talking about connection to Sasumaangna, to the goddess at the bottom of the sea.
Oh yeah.
To have the Tulugak being, you know, a total magical character that's, you know, looking into our world as human beings. What part of our culture as Kalaallit helps us, you know, what is the meaning of story, of myth, of spirit that helps the film Ivalu get to where it needs to go?
I think using Mother of the Sea and the Raven, for me personally, gave some comfort, like, because this is part of our history. And they just made it so good. Like, they made everything fit together so good that it made sense. Not a single time did it felt wrong when they talked, because, you know, this is based on a graphic novel and there is no Mother of the Sea in the graphic novel. So when they added that, it's like it made sense. And yeah, even though some of the scenes felt very alone and isolating, at the same time, to have the Raven and the story of the Mother of the Sea gave some sense of hope in a way, like, yeah, everything's gonna be okay in the end for Pipaluk's character. And one thing that struck me most was the sacrifice Ivalu did, the love for her sister. Like, she sacrificed herself to the Mother of the Sea so she could have a good life, the character of Pipaluk. So I think that speaks huge volume of who we are as people. Like, we are very connected to our families, like more than I think Western people. So yeah, I would say comfort. That's what it gave me.
Comfort and hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Nivi, as a character that disappears within the story of the film, how did you connect to her character? What life did you give Ivalu?
So, it was hard because it was my first movie and I have to scream, and in the film it was hard to me, and to show emotional face, and it was hard to put it emotional
maybe facial expressions.
Ito sinabi nga ama para sa iyo ko dugusugoy.
Para sa iyo ko sinama.
Now kasi so
Ivalu sa kayo kami.
It was fun to be in nature because I love being nature, but it was hard to film. We was
So it was very physically taxing as well to have to like climb up and climb down and be in the cold as well, right? Is that right? Yeah, yeah, that's so great. I think, Nivi, one of the most incredible gifts that you gave within the film that was very subtle, like it wasn't a very obvious gift, but was when when you were getting confirmed, and the look that you gave everybody in the whole event. I think that was such a beautiful moment just before we all got destroyed by the heavy abusive situation that we realized that you were in. Do you want to talk a little bit about what confirmation means in Kalaallit culture and why it's a pivotal point, why it's a big point in the film? So na Kalaallit apersortin assoruisua so na aton nakapakko kulturimi
намминеқ калассу упперисам илаавоқ наммина тоққассаваа аперсортиссанерлутик таавалу атисаккусанарторюссуа атисарпаатсоорлу калааллисууни виарсиаққа атисарпаа таа нукаппиаққа аннораа таакку ками таму пингаарторсууллу тиллуккусанарлутил.
So in Greenlandic culture, and this exists in both pre-Christian and in Christian times, young people get celebrated for who they are. And so Greenland has a very long Lutheran Christian tradition now. So they get asked in the church a bunch of questions about who they're going to become, basically. And it's a huge occasion in Greenland. So Nivi was saying that, you know, it's a really wonderful opportunity to celebrate young people and also to dress them in the most beautiful clothes that we have, beadwork and sealskin and bright colors and beautiful sort of men's outfits as well. And it's like this moment of like massive celebration of puberty, of being a young person. And so there is a scene that's in the film that has this beautiful celebration moment. And I just want to comment on how Nivi gives us this incredible gift of being so proud of herself. I mean, as the character Ivalu, so proud of herself for getting to that place as a young person and feeling beautiful just before we get destroyed by the most difficult part of the film. I found that very powerful. Are there any questions or anything that Mila and Paningwak and Nivi and Nayangwak want to tell the people here about other aspects of making the film?
At the end, you could see the mother of Sunamanna, the mother of the tea. As I can remember, it's about a story for many years ago, before we was born. We had heard stories that at Angakok, when people starve and have not food, Angakok helps them. Then Angakusartuni try to help them people by go to the sea of mother of the sea. After he has done his job, then the animals will come through. Then people can eat again and they survive like that. So the film, it tries to show that these abusement of children that is sometimes I think it's a way to show that the problems of abusement can be solved if the adults could help the children.
Yeah,
I-
it's such a strong message. Yeah. I think that both the film as well as the making of the film, for example, here we are sitting with two young women with their mothers talking about how to move through the issues of abuse and how to find hope and comfort, and using our Inuit spirituality and customs to be able to move through difficult situations. It's a very powerful message, all in all. We do have a question from one of the attendees. They're asking, do either of you young people plan to act in future films?
Maybe.
Mila, this Friday, a few days ago, because Mila has been approached by international film people, and this time it's American French production, and we've been having some meetings with them here in Denmark. They fly over from both Switzerland and France, and they had some meetings over the fall and winter. So Friday they officially offered her the role, a leading role in another production that's going to be filmed in Greenland. So and it's a feature film, so it's a long film. So we did nothing but hopping and dancing and screaming Friday for that, because that's what she wants to do. So yeah, how do you feel about that?
I feel very proud and happy and excited about it.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. Amazing.
Thank you.
Nivi, what are your future plans with?
I dream become an actress because it's fun and I can travel. Like I went to Gangel and I'm going to my dream place to go, Los Angeles, California, and it's fun to be an actress, to experience
Many different things.
Yes.
Wow.
I can also tell you that her cousin Angumwa is an actor. He has been an actor in different films, and she looked up to him and still do. She wanted to be an actress like him. So now the film succeeds. The first film succeed, and the first way to Oscar. That's amazing.
It is incredible. Yeah. Laakkuluk Larsen is the actor that plays the father in the film Ivalu, and in real life is Nivi's cousin.
Yes.
And you'll see him in almost any mention of Greenland in any film around the world right now. He's a very prolific actor.
Yes.
And I think you can see him most easily right now on Netflix. If you watch Porn, the political science, the political drama show about Danish politics. And I gotta say, in that show, of course, the Greenlandic parts are the best parts of that show, mostly because of Angungwak and the other Greenlandic actors that make it come to life. Can you all tell us about what your journey to the Oscars is going to be like? What are you looking forward to? What are you going to wear? What do you want to see?
Okay, so right now we're getting like gala dresses made from a Greenlandic designer, and we're gonna match in the fabric, but in different designs that matches our age and body type. So they're being made in Greenland, so we can't really get to see them up close, and like measurements, we had to do it ourselves. That's something we discuss a lot, like when we first found out, okay, what are we gonna wear? And now that we have confirmed that we're going into Dolby Theater, I just really want to represent Greenland, and I'm hoping to find a Greenlandic flag that I can drag on red carpet, like showing. Yeah, that's something we've discussed a lot. And also, of course, who are we gonna see? Like, oh my God. But yeah, we're mostly like anticipating and excited to see the dresses that this amazing Greenlandic designer is making, how are they gonna fit? We won't know until the day before we fly to LA. So
can you drop the name?
Inuk Couture.
Okay.
Yes.
Very, very amazing.
So hoping that they will fit, because if not,
they will. I know it. They'll fit.
Yeah.
Nivi me, ayang me.
I'm gonna wear all black blouse, blazer, and white shoes. The earrings will be ulu.
Fantastic. Oh.
And I'm mother trying to contact a Greenlandic designer. And I asked if she could be a sponsor to a dress which looks like our traditional clothes. She asked me, but I haven't asked her no. Answer her no. I will do that soon. So I want to know that the Greenlandic designers made beautiful dresses also.
Yeah, Greenlandic fashion is.
Yes, Greenlandic fashion. If it could be possible. Yeah.
You know, Laakkuluk, we're not allowed to bring sealskin into US. That's what I've heard, because we've been wanting to bring national costumes, because that's something we talked about. It could be so badass, awesome to have our national costumes. But we talked with people we know and my parents, like, you cannot bring sealskin into US. So it needs to be like prints, not the real ones, if we want to bring something in national costume inspired, which I think is very unfortunate. But
it is. It's just a terrible racist situation. That's what it is.
Yeah. So that's why we cannot bring our national costumes if we like, because we don't have our own, but we can borrow. A lot of Greenlandic people have them here in Denmark, but we just cannot bring it to US.
Luckily, it's a part of the visual part of the film, so people will be seeing our Kalaallit in the film itself, even though the United States could be a little bit less racist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's people that are wondering how people here in Canada are going to be able to watch the film.
I think it's up to the producers. We can't say when. We can't tell you when. It's up to the producer to let you see the film.
So it's so it's been circulating in international film festivals for a while now, hasn't it?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Premiered in Australia from what I know of. And then the producer and the director, Rebecca and Anas, they have shown it in US. And I actually, because I Google and YouTube Ivalu Oscar like almost every day for updates. I know that Anas was talking with the Canadian news. I cannot remember which one, but I saw last Sunday while we were in Berlin, they were showing it somewhere in Canada, but that wasn't in Nunavut area. But I know that they showed it in Canada somewhere.
I really hope that they'll be able to get it into, for example, the Imaginative Film Festival, which is based in Toronto, and that's where a lot of Indigenous people from all over come to watch Indigenous content. I also hope that it gets into all the major festivals. I mean, it will. It's already nominated for an Oscar, isn't it? While we're waiting for other questions, I have one about how you feel the acting world in Greenland is doing in terms of supporting young people. How do young Inuit in Greenland become actors? Where can they go to get opportunities and training? How easy is it for a child, a young person in Greenland to get into acting?
I think it's not easy. It's not so easy. It was by an coincidence that we found out that people look seek after actresses. That's why Nivi told me that that people was seeking young people in casting. It's not. I think it's difficult in Greenland to let know that filmmakers can be as okay. Filmmakers, what filmmakers can do or what they can do.
What kind of support do Kalaaleq need in order to have better access for young people to acting, do you think?
More information, more information.
Go more
Yes.
and information to where to sign. I didn't know where to sign castings. So I saw it on Facebook. People searching for a character for Ivalu, and then I signed it.
So it's not easy. some informations are mangla kanidasakpan. They
Missing.
need it seems that information is missing. The most information must be better.
Yeah.
What
More
I know
available
as a
in
filmmaker myself is that it all comes down to the lack of financial support for Greenlandic filmmakers. We are so many filmmakers in Greenland right now, and we are bubbling to want to create and do something, but the funding can be the funding is very difficult because there are all these rules. We are under Denmark, but we cannot how do you say it, ask for funding in the Danish film funds. I think it's something like that, and also it's very political. Like, I think our politicians need to support artists, not only filmmakers, but in general artists much more, because I don't know everyone I know has so many talents. They are in filmmaking, they sing, they act, they edit, they direct, they produce. Like me, I produce, but I also act, I also do speaking, like so many different things. And I also edit when I have to, and then I do some casting sometimes. You know, we are not many, so we need to do much more, but we don't get paid that much for what we do. So also, like, so if we want to expand more of, for example, kids acting, we need more funding for that.
Yeah, specifically. Yeah, that's the case right across Inuit Nunaaat, is that because we're not that many in the communities, or anywhere in general, we're not that many in the cities either, we have to be good at everything. We can't be specifically good at certain things. We have to be good at everything. And I think that for Kalaallit, it's especially hard because the Danish government or the Danish funding agencies don't recognize Kalaallit as Indigenous people. They just recognize Kalaallit as Danish citizens. So there's as much competition for Kalaallit projects as there is for any other Danish project. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like that. And I've seen it's been a huge debate recently and last year of because we're not recognized as Indigenous people. As I know some students who are studying abroad cannot get funded because they're not Indigenous on paper or something like that. So it really comes down to like, we need to make changes in those areas, because we adapt so easily to so many different stuff in filmmaking area, and so many amazing artists are so many things. Like, I don't like to label myself as one thing, like a producer, like, because I can do much more than that. And I just really hope that we can change that, because we have so many kids who want to act, from what I've heard, and also from her friends, like, who know that she was filmed, and she gets asked a lot of questions of how they can do it and how it was. You know, a lot of young kids are curious because of Ivalu production.
No kidding. So we have a question from an Inuk from Nunaat here, Alison Hardwick. Hi, Alison. She wants to know from Nivi and from Mila what your dream film project will be to work on. What do you dream of making?
Making?
Hanuit tumik film milyon susavit siunissani. Sunana sinattortatsit, sunana neriutartatsit.
It would be action films, because movies, it was very like hard, but like
So you want more action?
yeah, I want more action.
Like cars blowing up and like chasing and spies.
Like
Ooh.
she's a huge fan of Marvel.
Yeah, Marvel.
Yeah. That's fantastic. That's so cool. I think we lost Nivi and Nayangwa. Hopefully they'll pop back up in a minute.
Oh, they're
Here
back.
they are. They're back. Ay, puchok po si Kuya Nangmi. Ah, usi fang o nga na. Tamalo rama kishin idishi.
Thank
Shit,
you. We
Kuya-
definitely
Kuya-
need
Kuya-
an Inuk
Timi,
Marvel
Nivi?
stuff. Yes.
I wanna
Two separate.
maybe horror movies because I like to see horror movies and
Her cousin is in some horror movies in Sunamana.
kakaalangoy kisingan.
Previtok.
There's some terrifying Greenlandic movies out already.
Yes.
So Nivi wants to make more. She wants Laakkuluk to have bad dreams.
Yes. It could be Previtoks too, about Previtok.
Yeah, Privitok. You want to tell people what Privitud are?
Previtok means, as I can remember, it's some people who left the city or the settlements to live in the nature. They didn't want to live with people anymore. Because
Yeah, and then because they've, for whatever reason, they need to leave, and sometimes they develop like supernatural abilities.
yes,
Like,
some do. Yes, that's yes. Previtok.
yeah.
Sometimes
They're-
we
they're
heard
terrible.
about Previtoks in nowadays.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. So that's really been a big topic in the horror movies that have been coming out of Greenland for the past few years. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe we should end up with a couple more questions about our stars, so we can get to know them a little bit better. Can you tell us what your favorite foods are? Can you tell us what your favorite music is? And for example, what are you going to be listening to while you get so dolled up to go down the red carpet? What music, what is your soundtrack while you're putting your mascara on?
My favorite food is spaghetti. And
We just had it.
yeah, we just had it. We have it like almost all the time, but what I would be listening to when I'm getting ready, I think it has to be like something that makes you feel confident.
Ooh.
Like
That's my girl.
yeah, something like Rihanna or something.
Because Rihanna's gonna play at the Oscars show her Oscar-nominated song for Wakanda Forever.
Black Panther.
Black Panther. So we're gonna see Rihanna. Oh my god. We're gonna be like that, sitting and also coming with like I won't be able to help myself like screaming. I need to.
We'll all be screaming with you. How about you, Nivi? What's your favorite food?
My favorite fruit is sushi. And I would be listening to what
Billie Eilish? No.
maybe calm music because I have anxiety. Then I will be calm and yes.
That's so lovely. Let's see a little question like that, and we learn so much about your personalities. I want you all to know, as mothers and daughters, how incredibly proud we are as Inuit from all around the world that you've made this film, that it is so difficult and so powerful that the Oscars are taking it on as something to be celebrated. And each one of us as Inuit are screaming and crying and cheering you on from the bottoms of our hearts. Kuya nako yo kuy madu kada kachisin nagata tu simakto ko and I can't wait for everybody to be able to see this powerful piece and where these families are going to go next. Thank you so much for having us, Heather.
Oh, this was just the most wonderful conversation. I really hope you get a big hug from Rihanna, or at least The Rock. If I were you, I would be tweeting at everyone, see you next week right now. and this was just so awesome. Thank you, Laakkuluk, for doing a wonderful job of moderating. And to all of our guests, we're so thrilled for you, and we will be rooting for you and eating our popcorn and dressing up in our Greenlandic fashion at home in support for you next week, or not next week, in March. We're so thrilled.
Next week.
Is it next week? Oh my gosh, it's next week.
Next week.
Okay.
It is next week. It is next Sunday.
Wow.
So
In one.
yeah, it's next week. Officially next week.
I can't wait to see them say Ivalu as they announce the short films. It's so exciting. Congratulations. Thank you all. And thanks everyone for joining. We really appreciate it. And we are rooting for you.
Thank you so much. Feeling the support from fellow Inuit in Canada means so much to us. We've been talking about it. It really gives something. It gives strength. It gives hope. We're connected, and it means so much that you guys asked us to do this, because we've been talking a lot about how we need to connect more, because Greenland and Canada is not that far away, but they're the infrastructure, there's no direct flights. We are hungry for each other. We are seeking each other. I know many Indigenous young people are following each other across Canada and Greenland. So this really means a lot, because we feel so much more connected to Canadian Inuit right now.
We're literally this close. You go out this window and fly for an hour. And
Maybe we need to start a Tartupaluk Film Festival.
For supper.
Love it. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful time. You're going to love Los Angeles. If you have time, go visit the La Brea Tar Pits. They're really cool. Venice Beach. Get out and see everything. Go to Ripley's Believe It or Not and the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It'll be so much. You're going to have so
be
much
there
fun.
for a week, so we will have time. Hopefully.
I'm going to email you all. I lived in LA for a year. I'm going to email you all my suggestions for fun things to do.
Oh, thank you.
All right. I hope you get to high five some celebrities.
I'm thanking you, Kuya Nak, sa kuchini na si takuchi kasyo, niviaksya kanu. Isumadaw yusuo. Thank you for showing your interest for the girls. That's a big thing to do.
We're so happy.
Yes.
On behalf of the Indigenous Screen Office, the Inuit Art Foundation, and the Inuit Futures Project, we want to say huge congratulations, fingers and toes crossed, and we'll be rooting for you next week. Thanks everyone, and thanks for joining us. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Takus.